Yeah, it was my fault. Okay, I get it. Now I feel a little too loud. Maybe if, uh, Rob, if you could ask the people in the tech room to come out and check my temperature here. As they say, a little too hot. Leave one of the doors open, Lynn. Just one open. Thank you. All right. So good morning. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Glad to see you're all here. Welcome to Unity of Greater Hartford. My name is Rev Christine Boylan, and it's wonderful to see all of you here in person. Some faces I don't get to see very often, but others I get to see every week. So wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And to know that, of course, that there are many others watching on Facebook and on our website. So welcome to all of you. And thank you for last week. You're all going, what? All of you pitching in and helping with the service last week allowed me to go home and be with my family on Palm Sunday. So thank all of you. And we had a wonderful speaker, Reverend Juan. Thank you, Reverend Juan. He was great. If you weren't here and didn't hear his message, go up on our website. It's right on our homepage, and take a minute and listen to Reverend Juan. And thank you to everyone else, too. Certainly Deborah for stepping in and being the hostess with the mostest at the last Sunday. So thank you. We also have our very own resurrection today. Do you know that? We have our very own resurrection. We have Miss Catherine back. She's been recuperating for quite a while, and we're glad that she's back with us. So this is her first day back, first outing, right? So be gentle with her. Yes. And so we have, as you know, we have a board member on duty every Sunday, and that person is the person you go to when you can't find me. And so today it is Rob Morehouse. Rob, so if you would stand up. Now, that's Rob. Now, Rob, keep standing there because we had a board meeting yesterday, I know, on a Saturday, right before Easter, but we did. And that board elected officers. Don't go anywhere, Lynn. And yeah, she could. She's done. And so I want to, and at our first board meeting, we elect officers. Right? You elect the people to the board, and then the board elects who's going to be officers. So as I say your name and I say your position along with that, I would like you to stand. So the first person who's standing there is Rob, and Rob was elected to be the vice president of the board. Yes, thank you, Rob. And the president of the board was elected, and that is Deborah Giddings. Deborah, please stand. Keep standing there. The treasurer of the board. I'm looking, where is she? See here yet? She's here in the building, just not here in the sanctuary as of yet, or I can't see her. And so she's back there in the kitchen helping out. And that is Angela Simadon. So she's going to be our treasurer. So when you see Angela, thank her. And our secretary is Maria Main. Maria. And so we have two members at large. One is Lynn Lennon. Please stand, Lynn. And our second is Michelle Gornish, and she's in the kitchen too helping. See, these board members. If you want somebody to do something, ask a busy person. So thank you to all these wonderful newly elected Board of Trustees. You may take a seat. And next Sunday, and we all know what next Sunday is, right? Because it's the first Sunday of the month. Potluck and birthday cake Sunday, yes. So that's next Sunday, but we're also going to be having a board installation ceremony. So I hope you can all join us for next Sunday. Yes. Now, when you arrived, you should have been handed a Sunday bulletin, okay? You should have been given song sheets, and you should have been given a balloon, a paper balloon. Everybody got a paper balloon? Okay. Make sure if you didn't get, because you did come in through the front. So when Lisa, do we have any? Okay. Right up here, Georgine needs a balloon. If you would give Georgine one. Anyone else need a balloon? Up here also. Agnes needs one. Anyone else need a balloon? Raise your hand up high so we could see you. All right. Okay. So Lisa, and then when you're done, one over here. Okay, great. So just hang on to those, and we're going to be using it later on. If you're at home watching, you want to go get a paper and pen. Oh yeah, I'm going to make you do some work. All right. So it's okay. We're going to have fun. So please hang on to that. So now, if you should have your bulletin in front of you, and on your bulletin is our welcome affirmation. So if you would please find that, and so you can say that together with me, right? Together. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. And here in Unity, we welcome, value, and include all people. And our March affirmation, and this is, I guess, our last Sunday for that, is Jumping with Joy. That's our annual theme. I am guided by divine wisdom as I follow the light of spirit within me. And so we're going to bring that into our hearts and bring that into our prayers. And as we prepare for our opening prayer, I'm going to ask our worship assistant, Catherine, to light our Christ candle. And that is a symbol. That's a reminder to all of us of the Christ light that always shines within each one of us. And so we take that image into our mind's eye this morning. We take that knowing that that Christ light is forever shining within each one of us. And we bring that into our opening prayer. This Easter, we rise into our true selves. We rise into our best selves. We rise as we go within and embrace the Christ light within us. That Christ light that desires to shine in, through, and as us, not just today, but every day. Let's just take a moment, just a moment of silence, to see that light within ourselves and within all others, to feel that light within ourselves, to know that light exists. Just for a moment of silence. We breathe into that knowing. We breathe into that knowing that we are one with this Christ within, with our God within. And as we do, that light shines out from each one of us. For we are the light in the world. And so it is. Amen. Amen. And now, welcome choir. Welcome our music director, Carolyn.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and happy Easter. So, you should have been handed those song sheets on your way in with the words to today's opening songs. So let's locate those and stand as you are able. And our first song today might be new to you, or it might also be a blast from the past if you've been around here for quite a while. It's called I Behold the Christ in You. So if you don't know it yet, I'm glad the choir is here to help. You can lean on them, okay? But it's pretty easy to pick up. It'll be okay. I behold the Christ in you, hear the life of God I see. I can see a great peace too, I can see you whole and free. I behold the Christ in you, I can see this as you walk, I see this in all you do. I can see this as you talk. I behold God's love expressed. I can see you filled with power. I can see you ever blessed. See Christ in you hour by hour. I behold the Christ in you. I can see that perfect one, led by God in all you do. I can see God's work is done. So now at this time, I would like to welcome a very special guest musician, Flo, up onto the platform to join us for our second song. Yes, applause for Flo for stepping up and trying something new. Flo is a very accomplished musician already, and I'm very honored to have her joining us today. So we're going to sing now, This Little Light of Mine. Get ready, smile. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. When I watch the news, I'm gonna let it shine. When I watch the news, I'm gonna let it shine. When I watch the news, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. When I live in prayer, I'm gonna let it shine. When I live in prayer, I'm gonna let it shine. When I live in prayer, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. When I want harmony, I'm gonna let it shine. When I want harmony, I'm gonna let it shine. When I want harmony, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Thank you. You may take your seats. Thank you.
Good morning. It's nice to be back. I didn't plan this as my resurrection day, but Kirk Smallage, the master of the schedule, did. So here I am, literally making my first appearance in public in like 3 months. So anyway, so here's what's happening in our Unity Church community. So if you weren't already aware, today is Easter. And because of that, we will be having indoor Easter egg hunts, plural, 2 different hunts. One for the children, that will take place in the Fillmore room in the nursery down the hallway. And one for the adults, which I'm not participating in case any of you get a little rambunctious. I'm still, Still in recovery. I'm just going to keep myself safe. But all the eggs have candy, and you may be lucky enough to find an egg that has some bunny money in it, and that can be turned in for prizes in the community room. There's a table along the back wall. So happy hunting. This coming Tuesday, April 2nd, already April, we'll be holding a very special new experience here, an in-person meditation service called Sacred Circle Tuesdays. And it will be offered the first Tuesday of every month from 6:30 to 7:30. Doors will open at 6, so you can come in and wander around and get yourself situated. Again, it is in service only, won't be online. And Marty and Jim, who are hiding in the back as our terrific tech team, have actually created this unique service, and they would be happy to answer any questions that you might have. So you know where to find them. Just look in the tech room when you walk by. And there are also flyers in the atrium that will explain this, but I'll share a little more about what will be happening at the Sacred Circle Tuesdays. It'll start with an inspirational reading, and then after the reading, there'll be a 20-minute silent meditation. And then for the remainder of the hour, there'll be an opportunity to offer reflections. My understanding is that this is sort of in the model of a Buddhist Sangha, and Marty and Jim are more familiar with that than I am, but that's my understanding. So if you're, flexible, you can sit on the floor or your yoga mat, or you can use the church's back jacks, or we will have chairs for those who are not feeling quite so adventurous. As long as you're comfortable, that's the important thing. And then if you wish to stay after the Sacred Circle, there will be some light refreshments offered. There isn't a need to pre-register, but if you put your name on the sign-up sheet, even that you're interested, it'll just give Jim and Marty an idea of how many to expect. And there is no fee, but as always, love offerings, donations are gratefully received. And another wonderful event that we have coming up in the earlier part of April is on Friday evening, April 12th, the Savara Sound. Some of you may remember Kimberly Autumn, who used to come here, and Jeff Nichols from Savara Sound will be doing a gong sacred service meditation in the community room from 6:30 to 7:45. If you've never been to a gong experience or the bowls and all the accompanying percussion and musical instruments, they're really wonderful. So the doors for that will open at 6 p.m. Again, that's Friday evening, April 12th. There is a $25 fee so that we can thank Kim and Jeff for their service, and we encourage you to register on the website in advance. Again, it's always helpful for people who are putting on these events to know that people will be attending in advance. Otherwise, we may end up, I won't even say that. So you can pay at the door, but it would be much appreciated if you signed up in advance. Remember, space is limited, and again, there are flyers in the atrium, so please take one for more information, or really feel free to share this with a friend. This is a wonderful opportunity. I know I've shared it with a number of people that I know to just get the word out about unity and some of the things that are happening here. And it's more spiritual and less what people might think of as religious. And so it's a really nice opportunity to open it up to people who are, on a spiritual path and looking for a place to connect with other like-minded people. And now it is our greeting time. So please stand in your pew, and we will offer each other the Gandhi blessing for peace, which, as you know, is a call and response prayer. And again, I always like to remind you to be mindful as you say these words. They can sound kind of rote and repetitive when we don't stop and just take a breath and set ourselves in the intention of this beautiful blessing. So I offer you peace. I offer you love. I offer you friendship. I see your beauty. I hear your needs. Our wisdom flows from the highest source. And I salute that source in you. Let us work together for unity and peace. Amen. And again, I'll invite you to take those words and those intentions out into the world this week and interact with people as you will. And please join me now in our statement of faith, which is on your bulletin. There is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as my life, God, the good, omnipotence. Amen. And now for the daily word. Today's daily word for this Easter Sunday is rise. And the affirmation is, I rise to accept new life and renewal. And the message reads, Jesus rose above all limitations, transcending darkness to light and death to new life. His overcoming death is the ultimate inspiration and example for humankind, a precious gift of hope and renewal. This Easter, I gratefully accept my renewal as I awaken to the call of the divine. I turn to the Christ presence within me and discover new life and new energy, lifting me into higher awareness and understanding of spiritual truth. In doing so, I leave behind that which has held me in bondage. I rise above limiting beliefs, habits, and actions. With unwavering faith, I rise to accept inspiring new possibilities and the fullness of God's glorious life, love, and grace. And the Bible reference from the first book of Peter, chapter 1, verse 3. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. By his great mercy, he has given us a new birth into a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. And again, the daily word for today, Easter Sunday, is rise, and the affirmation is, I rise to accept new life and renewal. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Catherine. Well, this is the time in our service when we have the opportunity to experience and express gratitude, love, and prosperity. We know that when we freely and joyfully give, we are opening ourselves up to the joy-filled abundance in the universe. So whether you're giving with a check or cash today in the sanctuary, or you're giving online with a credit card, I'm going to ask you to symbolically hold that in your heart. And as you do, I'm going to invite you to hold an intangible gift, a blessing that you would like to share with everyone here today, whether here in person or online. What blessing would that be? Would that be peace? Would that be comfort, faith, strength? Hold that in your heart. And then allow yourself to feel as grateful as you can to the God in you as your one true source of all. And then please join me in our offering blessing that is also found on your bulletin. Together, divine love flowing as me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, all that I give and receive, and so it is. Amen. And would our ushers please come forward and begin?
I close my eyes, I open my heart, take a deep breath, let the healing start. I lift my hands, I plant my feet, I let love in, I feel the beat that's calling us to rise, rise, Spirit rise up, rise in me. I ready my soul, I clear my mind, I'm here and now, in present time, I feel the power of 1,000 suns lighting up the dark. Oh, we rise as one. Rise, rise, Spirit rise up, rise in me. Oh, rise, rise, Spirit rise up, rise in me, rise in me. I sing to you, you sing to me, changing up this noise, make sweet harmony. Come on and rise, oh rise, Spirit rise up, rise in me, oh rise, heart to heart, hand in hand, no turning back, onward to promised land. Do you feel the power of 1,000 suns lighting up the dark? Oh, we rise as one. Love's calling, calling out your name. Love's calling, that's why we came. Love's calling, calling out your name. Love's calling, it's why we came. So come on and rise, rise, Spirit rise up, rise in me, oh rise, come on and rise, Spirit rise up, rise in me, come on and rise up.
Thank you, Carolyn. That was beautiful. And we continue today. 5 weeks ago, we started a Sunday talk series entitled My Life is My Message. And in case you've forgotten, the phrase came from an incident with Mahatma Gandhi. One day a week is his day of silence, and on one particular week, which happened to be his day of silence, a journalist stopped him and said, "What's your message to the people in your country, in India?" And of course, it was a day of silence. So he grabbed the journalist, paper and pen, and scrawled, "My life is my message." My life is my message. Well, this statement of fact is not just about Gandhi, but is a statement of fact for all of us. My life is my message. Your life is your message. And what message is our lives making in and to the world? And What message do we want to make with our life? As my life changes, just like yours, my message might change. Is it the same as how I show up in the world, to the world? Is it what I do, or what I think, or what I believe, or what? I'm reminded of the poet Mary Oliver. She has a poem called The Summer Days. And there's this wonderful line in that poem. I'm sure many of you know it. And it goes like this. Tell me, what is it that you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Yes. Yeah. What is the message of your life? Now, we spent 5 weeks becoming acquainted with and inspired by some famous African-American New Thought and Unity ministers, as well as ministers who influenced Martin Luther King. And we also got inspiration from Dave and Sylvia. Anybody remember Dave and Sylvia? Yeah. Very ordinary, elderly people that I knew back in New Jersey. And they were just regular folks. But I would often hear from people who met them, who said that after having spent any amount of time with Dave or Sylvia, they just felt like they themselves were better people. That Dave and Sylvia had this remarkable ability to bring out your finer qualities just because of who they were. They were very caring, compassionate people who listened. They had the gift of seeing the best, the Christ in everyone. And you might even know people like that. You may not know Dave and Sylvia, but you may know people. They may be in your family, they may be your friends, maybe your spouse. Okay, you may know people. We also met 3 African-American ministers whose lives changed Unity and New Thought. The first one was Reverend Johnny Coleman, who became an influential minister and teacher in Unity and New Thought. She's often referred to as the First Lady of New Thought. She went on to establish several large organizations within the African-American New Thought movement, Christ Universal Temple in Detroit. And when it was built, it was the first megachurch on the South Side in Detroit. The church was the site of the funeral of Chicago Mayor Harold Washington, and President Barack Obama spoke there as a senator and as a president. And one of her most famous quotes is, "It works if you work it. It works if you work it." You don't need to know much more than that. That's it, right? She had lots of people that she mentored, and one of them was Reverend Barbara King. And she created Hillside International Truth Center, a church in the round with a reported congregation of 10,000 people. Reverend King was a powerhouse preacher and a teacher who truly lived that with spirit, all things are possible. Her life message was certainly faith. And finally, we met Reverend Ruth Mosley, who is perhaps best known as the founder of the Unity Urban Ministerial School in Detroit, where our own Deborah Giddings goes. And where she served for many years as executive director. Reverend Ruth would tell people, God will speak through you and tell you what you need to know. Yeah. God will speak through you. 3 powerful women ministers whose lives demonstrated perseverance, courage, faith, wisdom, and power. We also discussed 2 people who greatly influenced Martin Luther King. One was Reverend Howard Thurman, who first introduced the concept of nonviolence and civil disobedience to the young pastor. Through his sermons and teachings at Howard University and Boston University, he influenced intellectually and spiritually an entire generation that became the leadership of the civil rights movement. In 1949, Thurman published Jesus and the Disinherited. The text utilized New Testament Gospels to support his argument that nonviolence could work in the civil rights movement. His life was a message of peace. And one of my favorite quotes of his, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive, and then go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. There is something in every one of you that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine in yourself." And another mentor of Martin Luther King was Reverend Benjamin Mays. He gave the eulogy at King's funeral. King characterized Mays as his spiritual mentor and intellectual father. As president of Morehouse College, Mays held weekly inspirational morning sermons that were meant to challenge his students. Reverend Mays' life was a message of wisdom and caring. One of his quotes is, "The tragedy of life doesn't lie in not reaching your goal. The tragedy lies is having no goal to reach. It isn't a calamity to die with dreams unfulfilled. But it is a calamity not to dream. It is not a disgrace not to reach the stars, but it is a disgrace to have no stars to reach for." So have you decided the message of your life? If you did or do, why bother? What's the point? But perhaps that is exactly what is required on your spiritual journey. We studied also the Beatitudes of Jesus, and Jesus was remarkable for he truly understood people. He knew what they needed in order to become. And today, that might be called psychology. Last week, Reverend Juan talked about the mask you wear in the world and how holding on to that false self keeps you from truly being you and having what you desire in your life. The Sufi poet Rumi wrote that your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Identifying the message of your life is about going within to discover your hidden splendor so that your life is God expressed. And then our world becomes an expression of the divine. Some of us would want to keep it vague, unclear, right? We want to say, I'm confused, I don't know. But Reverend Ernest Holmes reminds us that we are guided by the same intelligence and inspired by the same imagination which scatters the moonbeams across the waves and holds the forces of nature in its grasp. We too are divine in potential, and perhaps it is time to tap into that Christ potential. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when I'm over the cold, not when I'm rested, but right now. Right now. There's a wonderful philosopher, Lao Tzu, who said that if you want to awaken all of humanity, then awaken all of yourself. If you want to eliminate the suffering in the world, then eliminate all that is dark and negative in yourself. Truly, the greatest gift you have to give is that of your own self-transformation. Now, as wonderful as a philosopher as he was, I want to make one change to what he said. I don't believe we need to self-transform. I believe we need to reveal. We need to let go. For what is inside us, desiring to be expressed, does not need any changes. It just needs to be expressed. And it can only be expressed by you. And so you might just have to release some of those not divine ideas that you have about yourself. Yeah. So as we contemplate how our life is a message, it is perfectly acceptable to be aspirational. To say, well, I'm not really that yet, but boy, I'd like my life to be about that. That's perfectly acceptable. The mere fact that that idea or that word would pop up in your mind means that it is already in your heart. So if you're playing around with what is the message of my life and a word comes to you, it comes to you because it's already in your heart. So I want to go back to Martin Luther King, who talked and wrote a lot about the beloved community. The beloved community is the result of being inspired to aspire to a bigger version of ourselves, a bigger vision of ourselves. He said that the end of all these efforts is reconciliation. The end is redemption. The end is the beloved community. It is a type of spirit and this type of love that can transform opponents into friends. It is a type of understanding goodwill that will transform the gloom of the old age into the exuberant gladness of the new age. It is this love that will bring about miracles in the hearts of all people. So where is this beloved community? It first must reside in each one of us. It's right here. And then as it becomes your unique, individualized message as you, it grows into your family, into your circle of friends, and yes, even into your church, right here at Unity of Greater Hartford. Right here can be the beloved community that from here can pour out into this neighborhood, into this state, into this country, into this world. King's beloved community is aspirational. It is a lofty idea. It is a global vision that begins with an individual inner vision by each one of us. Here's what I believe. I believe that each one of us can take one baby step to reveal our truth And as we rise up in our spiritual consciousness and in manifesting the divine in and as us, then another person and another person follows your inspiration, your inspirational life message. And so as one rises, all rise. And that truly is the Easter message. I rise to accept new life, new possibilities, new understanding, and new expressions of my truth as me. As one person rises, we all rise, and we all create the beloved community. Today, you were given a paper balloon. And I love how some things come from what we think is a problem. Anybody think Easter is early this year? Yeah, right. So good luck finding flowers. What am I going to do? Balloons. And so now we have this paper balloon. And what we're going to do, you don't have to do it right now. We're going to have, Carolyn doesn't know this, but she's going to do some little writing music for us in a bit. So I'm going to ask you to think about one or two words that reflect your life as your message. Now, I know a whole bunch of you just went, I can't do that. All right? I don't know what one word. I've got 20. I don't have any. So let's help each other out. Somebody call out a word to me that you might, that not you, somebody else could put on their balloon, okay? What? Gratitude. What else? Love. Fun. Commitment. Love that. Michelle, did you have your hand up? No, I said commitment. 2 commitments. All right. And any other words? Music. Harmony. Kindness. Connection. Joy. We got a lot of great words here. Love, peace, oneness. There's lots of wonderful words. Now, I said this earlier. Anybody remember that as your life changes, you may change, and then guess what? Your word may change, right? That's okay. This is where you are today. This may be, your word may be where you want to be. That's okay too. It's aspirational. It's okay. So we're going to take a moment, just a moment of silence. Carolyn's going to play a little writing music for us. And we're just going to take a pen in front of you and just put down a word on this. Let's all do that. Now, that wasn't so hard. And so I hope people who are watching online that you've done the same. You might not have a balloon, but you got a piece of paper. I hope you did that. Now I have one more thing for you to do. All right, I didn't tell you this right off the bat, but I have one more thing that I want you to do. This is the beloved community. Personally, I would like, and I think all of you would like, to have a big vision of this community. So that paper balloon, I want you to join me in bringing that into the community room And on your right, you're going to see a bulletin board. And you're going to pin your balloon there. And we're going to see all these balloons and all these wonderful visions that will grow into who we truly are. Now, if you need to skedaddle, our board member on duty, Rob, has a basket. You can put it in there, and he will put it on the board for you. But I do invite you to come into the community room and join us, putting your balloon on there, and even taking a second, having a cup of coffee, having some good snacks that are there. And of course, we do have the Easter egg hunts too. And if you're home and you say, oh, I can't be there today to put my balloon up, all right, well, these balloons will be here for the next 2 weeks. And if you still can't be here because of distance, whatever, email it to me. Email your word. I'll put it on a balloon for you. We're not putting our names on these balloons, okay? You're just putting the word. That's all. Because then we become a whole. So you want to email it to me if you're home, and that goes to Rev, R-E-V-C-H-R-I-S, Rev Chris, at unityhartford.org, and I'll make sure it gets up there. So, I'm going to close with two more quotes. One is a repeat, but one is another one from Reverend Thurman, who I love. I want you to think of this quotes as you go along your day and as you pin up your balloon or ask somebody else to pin it for you. Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Yeah. Yes, that life is your message. And then these closing words from Reverend Thurman. Listen to the long silence. New life is stirring. New dreams are on the wing. New hopes are being readied. Humankind is fashioning a new heart. Humankind is forging a new mind. God is at work. This is the season of promise. As one rise, we all rise. Happy Easter.
Now is the time in our service when we get to form a circle in the sanctuary. However you want to. You just kind of figure that out amongst yourselves, and then we will sing together our Unity Peace song. Look at this leadership in the middle here. I like it. Yeah, leadership. Excellent. All right. All right, you're looking pretty good. So let's take a deep breath together. And we'll sing our Unity Peace song, followed by the prayer for protection. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
If you would, I should
She's
be
now.
on. Yes? Yes, okay. All righty. Please join me in our prayer for protection as you remain standing. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All righty. And please return to your seats. And as we come to this time to bring our service to a close, Reverend Christine will extinguish the Christ candle. And as she does, we remember, know, and affirm that the Christ light can never be dimmed, for it's always lit within each one of us, and we are always one with the divine.
So thank you to everyone who helped with today's service, and special thanks to our prayer chaplains for holding us in sacred prayer. And we have a prayer chaplain here today who can pray with you one-on-one. Joanne, if you'd like to stand. Joanne is here. She'll be here in the front of the sanctuary, and if you'd like to have prayer with her, one-on-one prayer, just come up and say, would you pray with me? And she'll take it from here. Thank you, Joanne. We also have in the slots in front of you where you're sitting, prayer request cards. You can fill that out and put it in the prayer box that is on that table right in the corner there. And while you're there, you can light a candle, take an affirmation card that you can use in your daily prayer practice. Those cards are blessed, and then they go to Silent Unity, where they're blessed and held in prayer for another 30 days. And of course, you can also email your prayer request. And that goes to prayerrequest@unityhartford.org. None of the prayers are read, but they are all prayed over. So I hope that you will allow us to pray with you. It'll be our honor. Well, there are many who helped with today's service, in addition to our prayer chaplains, and of course, one is our resurrected worship assistant, Catherine. Another is our wonderful hospitality team, led by Georgine and Joan, and with assistance from many others, including Leah and Daniel, and a lot of other people were helping out and will help out. Certainly, if you can stay and help clean up, that would be appreciated too. But thank you to our wonderful hospitality team. We also thank our tech team hidden back there, but doing some wonderful work as I destroy this microphone. That's all me. And thank you to Marty and Jim and Julie and Tony. Thank you all. And thank you to our setup team, and that's Justin and Leah. Thank you for coming early and helping us get things in order. Our wonderful greeters, our big bunny, Joe, and Lisa. Thank you very much for your wonderful greeting. Our ushers, Lynn and Maria, thank you so much. And of course, thank you to our choir. Yes, yes, yes. And thank you to our star singer today, looking very fashionable in that hat, too. Flo. Thank you, Flo. So if there is anyone here for the first time, we thank you for joining us today. In the atrium, there's a table, and it's a high-rise table. And on that are envelopes, and they are filled with information, not just about this church, but about the Unity movement in general. And so we invite you to take one of those packages and learn a little bit more about this church, about the Unity philosophy, and also to know that you are so greatly welcomed to be here today. We're honored to have you here. If you're online and you'd like to receive that visitor package, then all you need to do is send us an email. Send that to officemgr@unityhartford.org. Our office manager, Tony, will put that in the mail to you, that visitor package, but you have to make sure that you give us your address. And if you do, we'll get that right out to you. Thank you for bringing the blessing that is you to all of us today. Thank you. So, you got your paper balloons? You're ready to go hang them up in the bulletin board? Thank you so much for playing with me today, playing with all of us today. And of course, many, many thanks to our music director, Carolyn. And Carolyn, what's our final song? Are we singing? What are we doing? You tell us.
Don't even worry. I got you. All right, so we have one final song today. It's kind of fast and wordy, so I'm going to do the verses, but I'm inviting you to join me on the chorus, which I'm going to just preview for you really quick. So it's on your sheet, but it goes like this. Live the dream of your highest calling, be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with a world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. So that's how that goes. You guys ready? You want to literally stand together? Here we go. Something great is happening. Love has taken hold and it won't let go of us now. Something here is calling us forward, upward motion. We're drops in one ocean. Roll on. Will you rise up with me today? Lift up your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Ready, 2, 3, 4. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for the change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Oh, oh, oh. Every day's a chance you can do something amazing to feel your passion blazing and shine. Paint with every vision and dance in new directions. Explode to new heights in your mind. Will you rise up with me today? Lift up your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Ready, 3, 4. Live a dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with a world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Oh, oh, ooh, one dream, one voice, keep it up, one heart, one world, one dream, one voice, one heart, one world, one dream, one voice, heart. One world, stand together. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the one for our greatness. Let's stand together. One more time. Our highest calling, be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. I hear you, Flo. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Oh, thank you so much. That was wonderful to sing with you. Thanks to everyone for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you next Sunday here in person or on our website or Facebook at 10:30 a.m. for Sunday celebration service. And we also hope to see you in person this Tuesday night, April 2nd, for Sacred Circle at 7 p.m. That's a lot of S's. As you go through your week, choose to set your sights and your thoughts higher. Happy Easter.